So, why is the mini driver such a popular golf club right now? Well, this is one of the reasons. Driver off the deck. That was crushed. I tracked it with 18 birdies, and it told me I just hit that 255. I'm going to be honest, I don't think I've ever hit a mini driver that far off the deck. That was smoked for me. There's no wind, a little humid. Actually, there's a little wind, kind of would have been blowing left or right for me, but nothing to help me. That's as good as I can hit a golf ball. Let's hope there's more of that to come. I think that might be a touch long. So what first got me into mini driver was the fact I was pulling all my 3-woods left. And I mean bad left. If you know much about golf, you know that left misses are always bad. They always bury deep in stuff. They have what almost feels like overspin on them when you hit those pull hooks. And I went to the mini driver because I knew that club is really hard to hit left. I accomplished that goal. But one thing I didn't realize was how well I was going to hit it off the tee. So as you can see, I don't really tee the mini driver up too far. And the one thing I like about it is it just doesn't go too far right or too far left off the tee, nor does it off the deck. So we have a little gallery watching behind us there. A little family out to watch some evening golf. But from this tee box, I don't always hit mini driver. I oftentimes hit driver. I'm going to aim just to the left of where those geese are. Maybe just the kind of left edge of those geese. And this will put me in really good position if I hit it straight. I can go at it with driver, aim for the left side of the bunker and really get down there pretty close, but you bring a lot into play on the left and right side if you do that. Or if you thin pull one, you bring the bunker into play. I think I'm right in the middle of it. So my main miss with the mini driver is usually kind of that slightly low in the blade, slightly pulley one. It's usually good enough to stay in the fairway. I took a pretty aggressive line there, and unfortunately that's not going to pay out for me. Every now and then I'll high yaw one right, but I've got pretty good, knock on wood, pretty good control of it. And what I've noticed with the mini driver off the tee is your misses aren't near as bad as a driver. If you leave the face open or you hit a toey hook, it's not near as bad. It doesn't get you in near as much trouble. And for somebody like me that struggled to get off the tee in the past, that can be a big positive. So this isn't going to be fun. I've got 123, which is not a great number for me. Pins in the front. I just missed getting out, though I'm not sure up there would have been a whole heck of a lot better. So we're going to see if we can get one at least close here and not chunk it. I chunked it, but I think I'll get it out far enough to at least be able to pitch up. That wasn't a good swing. So out of the 4-ish holes that I don't hit mini on, from the tips here, usually 3 of those are on the front. This would have been one of them, and that's kind of why I usually play that ball, hit that ball with the driver. But if the wind's into me and I know I'm going to struggle to get over that bunker even with a driver, then I'll just hit mini out there to the right. If I play this from any tee forward of the tips, I always hit mini driver. I never even think of hitting regular driver. Oh, I smoked it. So I originally had the Callaway AI Smoke mini driver. The reason I bought it was for these next two holes. Got to hit the ball straight, and you can't hit too far left. The thing I didn't like about the Callaway AI Smoke mini driver was it had a pretty deep face, and it was hard to hit off the deck. This TaylorMade R7, on the other hand, really gets the ball off the ground when you're hitting one off the deck. See if we can hit one out there and get back to playing good golf. That's how she drew it up. And that's why I bought the mini driver. So there are a few holes where I don't hit mini. And this happens to be one of them. You could basically land a 747 on these fairways. That doesn't mean I can't miss it with driver. But I need 250, this is a 600 plus yard par 5. I need 250 to get to the top of the hill to make this a good bit shorter of a golf hole. So I'll whack driver here up over that tree, or at least aim for that tree and see what we can do. Towed it straight, not very far, but not bad. So this is the reason I hit the mini here, or don't hit the mini here, is the mini be back by that tree. This ball's up here. Now, I told you that you land a 747 and you can't except for this little triangle in the middle. I seem to hit about 80% of the time. So this is another one of those holes where sometimes I hit mini, sometimes I hit driver. If I want to get there in two, I have to hit driver. Today, we're hitting mini. Try to mitigate some damage. Try to make birdie the old-fashioned way. A little left, but should be fine. Why is the mini driver, that is, the future of golf? I think you're going to see a lot of people start to get away from this old adage of bomb and gouge. That's great. But when you're rough, is stuff like this, you got to stay in the fairway. And staying in the fairway not only allows you to be more accurate on your second shot, it's going to keep you out of trouble. There's some trouble left on this hole. There's some trouble right on this hole. And by hitting mini, I mitigate disasters. I'm trying to keep the ball in the middle of the fairway, or in the fairway, in the short stuff, in play. Because if I hit this out of play on this course, thank goodness it's a lateral hazard, but I'm hitting 3. And I'm going to have to scramble to make par on this short par 5. If I hit mini, hit it out in the middle, maybe I hit one really good and can hit a mini off the deck and get there. Maybe I lay up, have a little flippy wedge in, and hopefully get a good birdie putt. But the mini driver is something you probably should look at for your bag. If you've struggled to drive the ball like I have, and you've sprayed it like a garden hose every now and then, the mini driver is a great tool to have in your bag. I now have 2 drivers. Sometimes the mini isn't on, and the big dog is. Most of the time, the mini's pretty automatic, at least automatic in staying in play. So we have 250 to the middle, 245 or 240 to the front. This calls for mini off the deck. Now I did cut that one. We'll be perfectly in play though and have a little flip wedge in. So the mini driver. Take one for a spin. Losing 10 to 15 yards on your driver and keeping it in play a lot more often is really worth it. This is Matt. This is the Bogey Depot. Hit them straight.